Hi everyone, it is a very chilly morning on a Saturday. Today is the 2nd of March and I'm out to check on my plants. They say that we're in for another snowy, rainy week coming up. I don't think anything's going to stick. It's just going to be our normal, if we do get snow, it's going to flake and then it'll melt. So happy March everybody. Spring is coming, hopefully soon. These from, January they grew. They have not grown all of February, but they should start catching up now. Same with this pot. The tulips are just coming up, and this pot, they're just coming up too. Hi everyone, today is Sunday and I just got done winter washing my fruit trees. We had a day that didn't have a lot of wind and it is really bright and sunny out, but cold. And I think it's, what time is it? Yeah, it's 2 o'clock, so the sun is now off, not high in the sky. It's kind of just above the houses a little bit. In fact, yeah, it's gonna be down in about another 2.5, 3 hours anyway. So this was a perfect time to spray this afternoon. The fruit trees got sprayed. They'll get sprayed again in 10 days. Excuse me. So I will spray them again in 10 days. I still need to go out and winter prune them a little bit and get the broken branches from the snow cut off. I probably won't have time this week to do it. Hopefully the weather will break next week sometime, at least a day or so in there, so I can go out before I spray again and clip all the dead branches that got broken from the snow. That's the only thing that needs to be done with the fruit trees, a little bit of winter pruning. I usually prune in the summer, but there was damage. The rhodies and the azaleas got attacked by some kind of sucking bug, so the leaves look really bad. So I went ahead and dormant sprayed the horticultural oil on those also underneath the leaves, and that might smother any eggs or anything, and hopefully they'll be on the mend. What else did I get done? That's about it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 little containers full of all my flowers that need to be soaked. I did that before I left yesterday, so I need to go set them in the some warm water and let them soak, and then they need to get on the heat mats. I'm going to plant my tomato seeds today. All right everyone, it's time to plant tomatoes. Yay! Balloons, jazz hands. Yes, so we are going to start our tomatoes today. It's not that I'm real late on them. The latest I have started seed tomatoes was, I believe, I had a failure, and I just looked at the pictures. I think it was 2015. Might have been 2016 I had a failure. We had a really hot, a hot month when they were seeding in the grow shed. Got way too hot and it killed the seedlings, so I was 2 weeks behind from the 2 weeks that I was kind of behind. So I think it was the end of March when I reseeded, and they caught up in the greenhouse. They didn't do real well out in the yard because they produce, but not what they should have. So this year it's the 3rd of March. I waited an extra week because we have gotten so cold, and if I would have planted when I wanted to, they would have already been potted on. They still would have been in my grow shed under the lights, which was great, but I still have plants that wouldn't survive in 20-degree weather out in my greenhouse right now, so they kind of are taking up residence. So the Cordy Blue are my sauce tomatoes, and those are the ones that are really big. I usually have 2 rows. This year I'm only going to do 1 row of them, and I have 5 5-gallon buckets. I can put 2 tomatoes in each 5-gallon bucket for my hydroponics. I did that successfully last year. That was the test. There was no difference between the buckets that didn't have the 2 in it versus the buckets that only had 1 in it. I had the same amount of tomatoes. So I'm going to do the same thing this year. That means on 5 buckets, I need 10 plants. So I am going to divide this seed tray up, and I'm going to plant my Cordy Blue, and then I am going to plant some San Marzano, which I thought I brought in here. Oh, hopefully. Or are they in my pocket? No, they're not in my pocket. No, there they are. And I'm going to plant some San Marzano. I have an order for a few of these San Marzano, so I'm going to get some of these planted. I'm not going to grow the San Marzano in my garden this year. Last year they just didn't do well, and I just don't feel like dealing with. They have a tendency to get blossom end rot easier than the other tomatoes do. They're the only tomato, in fact, last season that got the blossom end rot, and the season before that, and they were different seeds. So I'm not going to grow the San Marzanos, but there's a few people that want to grow them, so I'm going to start some for them, and they'll get their baby plants probably around April 1st is when they'll have their baby plants, and then they can do what they want with them. Go. Okay, so let's divide our potting tray, because I just love the small seed trays. I can fit a lot more of them underneath my grow lights. I can fit it more on my heat mats, and that way I have a more of a selection when I prick out. So we're going to do Corday Blue. Now I need 10. Another person would like 4. So why don't we'll do 25. That seems like a lot, but that guarantees me that I am going to have, put that on this side, I'll cut it. I'm going to have enough plants. And then the San Marzano, a couple people wanted, one person wanted 4, and the other person wanted 2, so we'll do 12. Just a light tap, and then these can get soaked as soon as the rest of them are done. They're almost done over here, soaking up all the warm water. Okay, so the San Marzanos are done, and the Corday Blue are done. So now I'm going to get a larger seed tray out, because I'm going to plant all my cherry tomatoes in one large seed tray. Because I'm going to do a bunch of cherry tomatoes this year. I'm going to divide this. I think I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can get five divisions in here. Okay, so the first one is Flaming Burst, and that is a gold pear-shaped indeterminate. and I need 4. So I'm going to plant 6. And I'm going to give them a little bit of extra room compared to what I usually do. And that is just because I am going to let them grow a little bit larger. Because it's so cold out, I probably will not prick them out until actually they get their first set of true leaves. I usually prick them out earlier, but it's been so cold that I'm going to let them grow just a little bit longer. So they'll have their first set of true leaves for sure. Now the next one is the Gardener's Delight. So Gardener's Delight, there's 30 seeds. I need 2, my mom wants 1, and my sister wants 1. So 2, 3, 4, I will plant 6 of these also. Make sure they're spread out just a little bit. That way they can have a little bit more space. And then the next one is Sugar Lump. And this is a red cherry tomato. And I'm going to plant 6 of these. And then the chocolate cherry. Just lost that seed. No, it popped back in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna plant 6 of these. So what I'm going to do on this other one, because I only want 2, I'm going to split this down the side. And it's the red pear and the yellow pear. And I only want 2, so I'm going to plant 4 if I can get them out. And then I forgot, I have another pear that a friend of mine gave me, and he gave me chocolate pear, so I need to make some room here. In fact, I know what I'll do. I will make another little section. There we go. Chocolate pear. I think I'm going to have lots of pears. Chocolate pear. How many did you give me? 3, so we'll put 3 seeds. Three seeds on the third. Alrighty. Set that in here. That should be enough room. So let's see here. Okay, there's 1, 2. Come here, little seed. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Kind of put them in a good place. And the other one was yellow pear. Now the other tomatoes I'm going to start are the little specialty tomatoes. There's a mini bell and then there's a micro tom. And I'm going to start a few of them for my mom. And then I also forgot, I had some leftover determinate Heinz Organic. Those are the ones last year that I grew in the greenhouse and it was an accident. They should have been outside and one got in the greenhouse and I had nice big round ones. I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and plant myself 2 of these, put them in the greenhouse because they are determinate and they all came at once. So I have one corner that I can put them in. So I'm gonna add these with the tiny tom and the micro tom, or the mini bell and the micro tom, and just have a few of them in here. Okay, so the next thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant some sweet peppers. Now these are Sweetie Pie hybrid, and they should be teeny tiny. They're not going to be big. I don't want a bunch of peppers this year because last year I had such a hard time with them. So this year I'm just going to plant a few small ones because last year they just would not ripen. Our fruit set was horrible with the weather, up and down, up and down, up and down. And so this year I'm just going to get smaller plants, which are supposed to 60 to 70 days. Whew. Well, it snowed this morning, and I mean, it snowed. It was thick. Just coming down, and then it turned to rain at the last minute, and it warmed up, and the sun is out, and it's like, what time is it? It's 4:45. No, it's 4:45. And this weekend's daylight savings time, so we get to spring forward and get our extra hour, which is really great because I always spring my clocks ahead on Friday night before I go to bed. I don't have to do anything on Saturday by going to work or anything, so that way my body's used to that extra hour by the time Monday comes, when I actually have to get up at a normal time. So tonight I'll set my clocks ahead, so it'll be nice. It'll be really nice. The sun is supposed to be decent this week. It's still going to be cold tonight. Last weekend it got down in the mid-20s, and I lost a few of my plants that I had. I was putting heat mats in my grow shed when I planted all my tomatoes. In fact, you'll see that real quick. I'll show all the tomatoes I planted because we're going to go check to see how they did. And I had put a flat of broccoli out in my unheated greenhouse to sit there until I brought them back into my grow shed, and I ran to the store, picked up a plug that I needed, came back, put everything together, and it was dark. And I thought, something's missing, but I was so tired I couldn't think of what was missing. Well, I remembered it the next day when I went out, and I turned all my lights on. I'm like, there's an empty spot there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I left my broccoli out, and it got killed. So today I'm going to plant up some more broccoli, but I am just going to grab the plug flat that I had already pricked everything out, put everything in, and I'm just going to put a seed in each plug flat because I don't want to I don't want to waste the soil that I have in there. So that's what I'm going to do, is going to go grab that plug flat of dead broccoli and put some seeds in that and then just call it good, because I think tomorrow, it's either tomorrow or Sunday, is the last cool night that we're supposed to have, and it looks like it's going to happen on the 20th. Boom, we hit spring-like weather of 60 degrees. So we're going to go from the mid-20s to 35 to 40 degrees during the daytime, maybe 45 at the high. That's been real rare this last few weeks, to 60 to 61 with 40s at night, which is great. That's spring. So the soil is going to take a while outside to warm up. In fact, I might grab my temperature probe and poke it down in one of the raised beds, because it's probably only about I'm figuring about 42 degrees. I don't even think, it might not even be that warm because we were still freezing at night. So let's go take a look in the grow shed, see if those tomatoes and peppers came up yet, and any of the flowers, and I need water. And the dahlias, they should be about that big now because I haven't checked on them in 3 days. I watered 3 days ago. So let's go check the grow shed and see what's going on. Okay, so the dahlias are doing awesome. And these are LED, just plain old LED lights. So they can sit right on top of the leaves. I think I only got maybe 1 or 2 that didn't work. Let's see, I'll turn off the pink lights here. Got more dahlias. I need to do a little bit of watering. Not too many misfires of sweet peas. They look like they're doing okay. None of these came up yet. Oh, but the daisies came up. They popped. Turn this back on here. And a couple of the sea holly were bad, but other than that, some of these sea holly are good. What else came up? Oh! These are the bachelor buttons. The bachelor buttons are coming up, pushing themselves on the dirt. I'll have to get some water here and water them down. Calendula is doing good. I got some ants. Always got to fight the ants. Painted daisies, nothing on the painted daisy yet. Nothing on those. Tomatoes still haven't come up. Calendula came up good. Nope, these are still naked. Nothing. Okay, so how about in here? Oh, yes, we have stuff. So, the calendula bachelor buttons. The daisies have all come up. Swiss chard is coming up. Oh, that's a black-eyed Susan. So yeah, those all come up. Take that off. So those look good. Did I put Coleus haven't come up yet. Coleus looks like something's trying to push up there. So I'm going to get my spray bottle and I'm going to go ahead and give these another water. Get these all watered in here. And then drop these lights down right on top of them. And thanks for watching and subscribing, and thanks for leaving comments. It's really great to hear from people all over the world, especially for a little channel like mine. And I like to watch other people's videos. That's what I do at night. So if you ever see me on other people's gardening channels, I watch a lot of them at night. That's my television. It's just fun to watch what other people are doing, and I have my dinner usually with somebody from somewhere. So thanks for watching and subscribing. Have a great night.